Thank you for joining us for this very special edition of News 5 at 6.
Tonight, two members of our family, Lee Jordan and Leon Bibb, are saying goodnight one last time.
This is television station WBWS, your Scripps Howard station, first in Cleveland.
Their careers don't date back that far, but for a combined 52 years, Lee Jordan and Leon Bibb have come into your living rooms as anchors on News 5. Lee, first on the Morning Exchange.
Live from Ohio's News Channel, this is the Morning Exchange with Fred Griffith, Joel Rose, and Lee Jordan.
Then going on to spend more hours anchoring than any other woman in Cleveland. Leon started with the Weekend Exchange, before eventually taking over the anchor desk at both 6 and 11. Their careers crossing paths before. After time in Toledo, Leon moved to Columbus and became the first African-American to anchor a newscast in Ohio.
Patty Hearst was sentenced today.
A distinction he still held after returning home to anchor in Cleveland.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Leon Bibb, and this is what's happening tonight.
Good evening. John Huffman has the night off. I'm Lee Jordan at the Orange Johnson House.
Lee also cut her teeth in Columbus, hosting PM Magazine for 6 years. Throughout their storied careers, Lee and Leon have been at the forefront, bringing you news that shaped our city and our nation.
What could have happened that might have changed your mind?
Thousands of victims are believed to be dead in Louisiana and Mississippi.
There was some controversy earlier over the roll call vote.
We're giving you a front seat view of it all from here in the News Channel 5 Convention Command Center.
Bringing you interviews with the people at the forefront of history.
Did you kill Dr. King? No.
What are your thoughts about cities like Cleveland, where the dropout rate is at 50% or thereabouts?
And pop culture.
And you said, the future is so bright, it burns my eyes. I did.
You seem to have a knack for really getting people to emotionally open up to you.
Well, I was showing this the other night to my husband, and he said, don't make anybody cry anymore.
The names we all know.
The Cleveland brothers, Carl Stokes, first black elected mayor of a major U.S. city, and Lewis, political strategist behind the election.
And some we don't.
I'm going to have a heart transplant.
No matter the story, Lee and Leon are the true definition of a Cleveland news anchor. Thank you for joining us for News 5 at 6, celebrating Leon and Lee. Celebrating Lee's nice hat in there.
God.
You know, for Leon, this chapter of his life is closing, where the first chapter was written.
He grew up in a home not too far from where News 5 stands right now, a home in Glenville. The house he grew up in, still there. The memories, still strong.
The story of this street could be the story of many streets in Northeast Ohio. I chose this one because I've known it all my life.
Leon, his parents, and sister making a life along Parkgate Street. His school, still standing, a school where he was inspired to become a journalist.
I had a 6th grade teacher by the name of Robert C. Taylor. He says, son, I see you as a playwright or a journalist. And immediately a light bulb went off in my head. From that precise moment, I knew what I wanted to do.
His first job, delivering newspapers at the age of 13. Then on to an internship with the Call & Post, where he covered civil rights leader Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Leon's career taking him from Cleveland for a time, but he returned, then offered advice to another prodigal son.
Dear LeBron, how's it going, man? We really haven't talked since your big decision to, well, we'll just leave it at that.
Leon, in time, becoming our city's biggest defender.
Something else. Don't call Cleveland the mistake on the lake, as you did. We won a national convention, a political party convention. Mistakes don't win that. Kansas City, you wanted it but didn't get it. Is that what your editorial is really all about?
So I'm taking my coat off and rolling up my sleeves because sometimes you got to be true to your own and true to your own town.
Oh, my God, Mr. Bibb. Well, it turns out Lee didn't grow up here, but 30 years ago, she chose to make it home. You chose to welcome her into your home every day, starting with her time on the Morning Exchange and ending with me on News 5 at 5.
is a very special day.
For 6 years, you ate your breakfast and drank your coffee with Lee Jordan. At the time, her co-anchor, Fred Griffith.
I knew it was a legend. I knew Fred Griffith was a legend here.
The show, a chance to meet some of the biggest names of the time while being the voice of her audience.
Good morning. It's deadline day, Friday, April 15th, with showers, appropriately enough, 37 degrees.
But when Lee's time on the Morning Exchange ended, her time in Cleveland did not. She spent 24 years making history, anchoring more news at one station than any other woman in Cleveland television, ever. First with Roy Weisinger.
Oh my gosh, he was the combination of Walter Cronkite and Cary Grant. Just so charismatic and so smart and funny and just a terrific news anchor.
Ted Henry, Adam Shapiro, Joe Paganakis, Danita Harris, Leon Bibb, and myself, Frank Wiley. During that time, your tragedies became her tragedies, your triumphs, her triumphs, as Lee bore witness to Cleveland's renaissance. Looking back at Lee and her hats and her hair.
Yes, it's a journey.
Icon.
It's a journey, that is for sure.
Wow.
But, you know, it's hard to describe what it feels like to see 30 years of your life flash before your eyes over 5 days, Leon.
I watched my hair go from black to gray. I mean, in 20 seconds.
And Leon, you had a nice afro.
I had an afro going when I was down in Columbus. That was a thing. That was the 70s, and you know, it was in the wind.
Can just imagine for two people that have told other people's stories for so long and so well. This day must just be, I don't know.
How are you feeling there, Lee?
Yeah.
It's, you know what, it's really overwhelming. And the thing that has meant so much to me this week is what I have heard from viewers, viewers who've been watching all these years, and people who I've done stories with, or people who were here for an internship, and I spoke to them about this career in journalism, and they went on to do this. Yeah. You know, we have a lot of responsibility and a great privilege to be in this position, and it's a powerful position that really does have an impact on people's lives, and we're so grateful that you have for all these years put your faith in us to bring you the news.
Leon, you got a letter from someone from way back.
I got a letter from a woman today who apologized for something she said to me 15 years ago. I don't know what it was she said, but of course I accepted.
And you accepted the apology.
It's
accepted.
It's accepted.
Yes. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know, he wears it proudly on his chest, a Bronze Star earned during his service in Vietnam. It was a time that shaped both Leon and his storytelling.
My mother was crying, and there were tears which fell into the skillet of eggs and bacon that morning.
Leon recalling his mother's reaction as he deployed for Vietnam, a young man, a newlywed.
He did what he needed to do and got out as fast as he could.
Serving his country, just as his father did during World War II.
Not a day goes by that I do not think of my time in Vietnam as a young soldier there.
Always remembering his fellow men and women in arms.
Military veteran Roy Richardson defended America by flying a fighter plane. He was a Tuskegee Airman.
Always looking for ways to bring their stories to life. We mentioned the newlyweds. I'd say things turned out pretty darn okay. Leon and Marguerite have now been together for more than 50 years, and the whole family is here.
Whole family is here.
Come on up. Come on.
At the very beginning, we got.
Come on, sure you
This is This is the star. This is the star. This is Rory, who is our 8-year-old granddaughter. Our 8-year-old granddaughter. Here comes Marguerite, my wife of more than 50 years. Marguerite says she didn't know she was going to be on camera, so.
All is well, though.
Yeah.
All is well.
And we got the other grandkids are here.
Come on, Alexa.
And we got the whole air, all the heirs are here.
Except Aunt Jen, Uncle Bill, and
Yeah, Aunt Jen can't be here right now. Here comes Ronnie. This is Allison's husband. Allison is our daughter. This is Ron, our son-in-law. Rory and Jackson and Alexa are our grandchildren, and of course Marguerite.
Well, how about that? The whole family, and it is a big day for you, but it's a big day for
missing.
Okay, 3 are missing. Thank you.
Okay.
It is a big day for you as well. What can you say on this day?
Well, I'm proud of him, and he's had a long career and has been very faithful to it and loved it, and it's loved him back. And now I'm looking forward to having him home with me for a little while.
We'll have breakfast together. Okay.
Yeah,
There you
having
go.
meals together.
Well, congratulations to you. And now, here's Andy Baskin.
For the last 30 years, Lee has been a part of the family, keeping us safe and informed. And she's brought her family along for the ride. Lee's parents shaped her early years. First in Minnesota, then Cincinnati. Then she was off to Cleveland.
We wanted Lee to grow up, as well as her sisters, to make their own decisions, to be good citizens, and be a success in their own right.
Her time in the spotlight almost preordained.
I should have known that Lee would end up doing something in the public eye because she was such an aggressive, friendly child. I recall at about 18 months, she would go up to total strangers and say, "Hi there, my name is Leanne Jordan."
And when her assignment sent her to the Mall of America.
Can you believe that? I can't believe I'm seeing what I'm seeing here.
Even her grandmother got into the act.
Leanne? Grandma? It's Grandma Henrietta. I can't believe I just saw you do that.
That's all right. That's only my pastor.
But the moment that is Lee's fondest, sharing the news she was pregnant with her now 22-year-old son, Tyler.
It's been an exciting day, but I have to say it'll be nice to catch up on a little sleep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, big yawn.
Well, I think we make a pretty good team.
I do too.
So Lee, thank you for letting all of us be a part of your family. And to you and Leon today, I say thank you, not only for all the years of watching you in Cleveland Heights as a kid growing up on the East Side, but thank you for being the leaders in our newsroom and setting the stage for class and professionalism. You will both be missed. Thank you.
As I always say, when you think Lee Jordan, you think class, you think integrity, and just a wonderful leader in our newsroom, and for all of us, you know, and for sharing so much of your life, as we see here in this package, part of your family with our family.
Well, you know, when we think about what we owe this to, certainly family is right there at the top, because they haven't always had us home when they wanted us there, because our work is driven by the events of the day, and you never know where you might be sent or what you'll be doing. And so thanks to my family for always being there for me.
Hard to explain why you're working on Thanksgiving night.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, our trip down memory lane is just getting started. Don't go anywhere, because when we return, some of the most memorable moments as we celebrate Lee and Leon's careers.
I'm Lee Jordan, here in London at one of the city's most beautiful and well-known spots, the Jewel of Parliament on the River Thames, Big Ben standing by. We're here to mark the arrival of Diana, a Celebration at the Western Reserve Historical Society.
From the shores of Lake Erie to the shores of the Thames, and Lee didn't stop there. She used her career to open doors to cultures and experiences most of us can only dream about. Take a look, Rory.
Before she belonged to the world, Diana Frances Spencer belonged to the quiet English countryside of Althorpe.
TM Magazine from Israel is next. Joan Embry must have thousands of animal friends, and tonight she'll introduce you to one of her favorites, the big elephants. They weigh about 3 tons apiece. Walking on fire is part of a religious ceremony in far-flung parts of the world.
Good morning. People think of Jamaica for its sunny beaches and vacation resorts.
That was so fast. That was so much fun. It was great. I want to do it again.
and experiencing the heart-pounding thrill of pushing a car to its limits.
We are hot to shop. We're at the Mall of America.
I'm too sexy for my shirt. Too sexy for my shirt. So sexy it hurts.
Love the hats. And for Rory's papa, Leon, his focus was right here at home in your backyard in a series called My Ohio.
This is a face of Cleveland. So is this. This, too. A city of many faces, each different, yet in some ways so similar.
Rows of gravestones, and underneath, each one, the body of a member of the U.S. military, a veteran who served his country honorably. Now each is at parade rest.
I had heard about it, wanted to experience it for myself. It had haunted me.
There are gravity roads throughout the U.S., most associated with a strange event, a ghost sighting or something equally strange. Of King Memorial Road in Kirtland Hills, no such event. And that was good.
You should have said, that was good. Leon,
of course, you would. Come on.
Lee and Leon's final goodbyes are next, but first, despite all they've seen and done, no one can argue that for all of us living in Cleveland, 2016 was quite the year. Enough to leave you dancing on the street corner.
What is going on out there?
I think it's a dance party. It's a dance party, guys. Mark Johnson's right in the middle of it, of course.
Celebrate good times. Come on!
You know, I'd forgotten we'd done that.
Yeah,
I'd forgotten we'd done it.
I did too.
When I was a teenager growing up in Cleveland, I went to my bed with a radio to which I attached a wire running from my second-floor bedroom to our third-floor attic and twisting around a metal pole. The wire was a giant radio antenna. It was there I fell in love with the sound of the human voice. Along the radio dial, I pulled in news anchors and announcers from Cleveland and far away. I wanted to be a part of that, and to be a newspaper reporter, too. Journalism called me. Radio, television, newspaper. I wanted to be one of those voices riding the broadcast waves, or the newspaper man cranking out stories. After Bowling Green State University, I found it all in newspaper and television journalism. For 38 straight years, I have been blessed to have had this opportunity to still be on the air in my beloved Northeast Ohio. You know, it's my home. My ancestral roots are here. So too are my journalism roots. I feel fortunate to have been in television in this community all those years. But time has come for me to step away and take a breath or two and see what chapter is ahead for my life. I thank the good people here at WEWS. Without them, I could not have done what I do. Writers, editors, producers, sales associates, technicians, reporters, anchors, all of them. I thank them. And I thank you for being with me all these years. You know, in a way, I'm still that kid listening to the broadcast signals speeding through the skies. You are a part of me. I hope that I'm a part of you. But I'm a Clevelander, so I'll be around. You may find me taking in the wonder of Lake Erie or enjoying life along the banks of the Cuyahoga. Where those two waters meet was where Cleveland really began. Cleveland and Northeast Ohio is where my heart is. So I'll just say, good luck and be well, and we'll talk again.
My friends, it is difficult to find the words to describe what the last few weeks have felt like as we approach this day, wrapping up my 30 years at WEWS. And all this week, I have literally seen my life pass before my eyes as together we watch the way my 36 years in television unfolded. What a gift to see again the faces of family, friends, and co-workers who were and are so dear to me. I want to thank all of my colleagues who dug through the archives, worked diligently and generously over the past weeks to put these beautiful retrospectives together, and for the meaningful work, the sense of purpose, and the laughter that our years together in this newsroom, for however long it's been, has given me. Here at the news desk, I've been lucky to work with the best you'll ever find in Cleveland or anywhere else. It has been a true privilege to serve as an anchor for our news team of outstanding journalists and a whole lot of people you never see in front of the camera. I cannot adequately express my gratitude to them and to WEWS for making it possible for me to have a life that far exceeded what I could ever have imagined as a little girl growing up in Hopkins, Minnesota, who was completely fascinated by television. And to you, my deepest appreciation for every time you tuned in as the years rolled by and shared with me a daily conversation about the ups and downs of our world in Northeast Ohio. I have never taken your loyalty for granted. Thank you for making me feel on so many occasions and personal milestones that you were also my friends. I am humbled by the outpouring of support on social media, the emails and cards you've sent. They mean more than I can ever say. I have always felt so proud to represent this television station with its long tradition of journalistic excellence and our city. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for allowing me to be part of your lives. I'll be seeing you around. This isn't really goodbye, it's just so long until next time.
And now, without a dry eye on this set, to you we say goodnight. To Lee and Leon, we say we love you. And we thank you.
May the next chapter of your lives be exciting, unpredictable, and full of great times with those you love.